The time is 8:45. Here is the news edited by Danushka Madhavala, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The President invited to address Summit for New Global Financing Pact in Paris. UAE President invites President Ranil Wickremesinghe for the COP28 summit. The UMP says that the party may contest the upcoming election with a coalition. Labour laws will be amended to suit the modern world. Foreign news, around 18 migrants dead, dozens feared missing after fishing vessel capsized off Greece. Sports news, new president elected for Sri Lanka Softball Cricket Federation. Local news in detail. French President Emmanuel Macron has extended an invitation to his Sri Lankan counterpart Ranil Wickremesinghe to address a high-level panel discussion in Paris at the Global Leaders Summit for New Global Financing Pact. The event is scheduled to take place at the Palais Brongniart in Paris on June 22nd and 23rd. The Summit for a New Global Financing Pact is expected to shape a new financing toolbox that will be rolled out through 6 high-level round tables and 40 parallel events. The summit will provide the opportunity to examine interactions between multilateral development bank reform, mobilization of private capital, climate finance, green infrastructure and solutions related to debt. President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan of the United Arab Emirates has extended an invitation to President Ranil Wickremesinghe to participate in the conference of the parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, which will be held in Expo City, Dubai this November. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of the UAE said the invitation letter sent by the President of the United Arab Emirates was officially handed over to President Wickremesinghe by the UAE Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Khaled Nazar Al Amiri. Earlier this year, President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan also extended an invitation to President Wickremesinghe to participate in a World Climate Action Summit, a key event that will inaugurate the Emirates Climate Conference. The World Climate Action Summit Leaders event is scheduled to take place in December 1st and 2nd and will coincide with the UAE's 52nd National Day celebrations. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Digital accounts can now be opened in 10 minutes. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
Continuing with more local news, Deputy Leader of the UMP, Ruban Wijewardena, says that the party may contest the upcoming election with a coalition led by the UMP. He said that there will be no problem with the support of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. There are many alliances who support the UMP. Mr. Wijewardena says that Mr. Wickremesinghe should run the country for about 5 to 10 years to develop the country. Minister Manusha Nanaikara says that plans have made to solve many issues existing in the Shop and Office Act and the Wages Board's ordinance. It is important to amend the labour laws to fit with the modern world. Attention will be focused to control the harassments in the workplaces. Changes will be made in the labour laws to allow employees to work in part-time jobs as well. The Minister of Health, Dr. Keheli Rambukala, said that the government has approved to give 4 billion rupees to Ministry of Health for the repair and purchase of necessary medical equipment in hospitals. The minister said in many hospitals such as Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital, Apeksha's Cancer Hospital and Kandy Teaching Hospital, medical equipment including the MRI scanners are inactive and needed to be repaired, and the funds given by the government could use for the repair of medical equipment. That ends local news.
Debit card, mobile and internet banking, and cardless cash accounts can now be opened in just 10 minutes with no form filling with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Minister of Public Security Tirunala says that the new online passport application system will be launched tomorrow. Accordingly, the new system will be launched under the patronage of the President Ranil Wickremesinghe, with the participation of the Minister of Public Security Tirunala at the Home Agama Divisional Secretariat. The Minister, who pointed out that this program is being implemented with the aim of providing the public with the opportunity to obtain passports more easily, highlighted that the people will be able to get the new passports delivered to their residences within a span of 3 days under this new procedure. That came to you on Main News Story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, Director of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children in Colombo, Dr. G. Vijay Surya has raised concerns over the recent spread of dengue among children. Expressing his concern on the matter, Dr. Vijay Surya explained that there are currently 35 children being treated for dengue at the hospital, with 7 of them suffering from hemophilia. He also added that nearly 3 or 4 novel dengue patients are also admitted on a daily basis. That came to you on Watchlight. Moving on to world news, let's take a look at the headlines. Around 80 migrants dead, dozens feared missing after fishing vessel capsized off Greece. WFP to cut aid to Syria due to funding crisis. Nigeria reports 1,629 suspected cholera cases, 48 deaths. World news in detail. Around 80 people have died and dozens are feared missing off the coast of southern Greece after a fishing boat carrying migrants capsized and sank. A large search and rescue operation was launched in the area. Authorities said 104 people have been rescued so far, following the nighttime incident some 75 kilometers southwest of Greece's southern Peloponnese region. 4 of the survivors were hospitalized with symptoms of hypothermia. It was unclear how many passengers might remain missing at sea after 59 bodies were recovered, the Greek Coast Guard said. The World Food Programme said it had to cut assistance to 2.5 million people in Syria due to an unprecedented funding crisis. The WFP said in a press release that the funding crisis in Syria was forcing it to cut aid to 2.5 million of the 5.5 million people who rely on the agency to meet basic food needs. The WFP started reducing the monthly food ration size by half of its former size 2 years ago, said the press release, noting that the funding hasn't been able to catch up with people's increasing needs amid rising food and fuel prices. Nigeria's Center for Disease Control and Prevention announced that a total of 1,629 suspected cases of cholera, including 48 deaths, had been reported by the end of April this year. The health agency has taken measures to strengthen the country's prevention, control and management of cholera outbreaks, including investing in clean water and sanitation infrastructure, promoting hygiene practices, providing access to vaccines and treatment, and conducting surveillance and monitoring of cholera outbreaks. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Around 80 dead, dozens feared missing after fishing vessel capsized off Greece. WFP to cut aid to Syria due to funding crisis. Nigeria reports 1,629 suspected cholera cases, 48 deaths. That ends World News. Development News is brought to you by
Vacancies for women from Deshakti Lanka for housemaids in Kuwait, Oman and Saudi Arabia for ages 23 to 58 years. Contact number 037 7500 500.
The International Fund for Agricultural Development has agreed to provide necessary support through the Smallholder Agribusiness Partnerships Program under the Ministry of Agriculture for the cultivation of 16,000 hectares of maize in Sri Lanka in the next Maha season. Ms. Serena Tabazum, the country representative and director of the Asian and Pacific region of the IFAD, met the Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Amaravera and discussed the related project. With the aim of increasing animal feed production in the country, 16,000 hectares have been selected for the ongoing maize cultivation project. Accordingly, the maize project will be started in the next Maha season, targeting Anuradhapura, Hambantota, Monaragala, Polonnaru and Ampara districts. The project will provide high-quality hybrid seeds, chemical fertilizers, land preparation facilities and non-repayable financial facilities to selected maize farmers. That ends Development News.
Vacancies for women from Deshakti Lanka for housekeepers, home cooks, caretakers and home nurses in Kuwait, Oman, Saudi Arabia and Singapore for ages 23 to 57 years. Salary starting from 156,000 rupees. Interviews with foreign agents are now on. Come whether you have a passport or not. Branches, Colombo, Kurunagala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 037 500 500.
Moving on to sports news, in the election of the Sri Lankan Softball Cricket Federation, Mr. Thisara Gunasinghe, a businessman, was elected as the new president. Mr. Gunasinghe became the chairman during the official election held at the Sports Ministry Auditorium. The new Executive Council of the Softball Cricket Federation agreed to start the implementation of the 3 proposals for the promotion of softball cricket in Sri Lanka, presented by Mr. Tharanga Deepal De Silva, the representative of the Ministry of Sports, who came to supervise this election. The series of proposals expressed agreement to get financial support from the Sri Lanka Cricket Institute for the promotion of the softball cricket, which is a part of cricket in Sri Lanka, to organize a South Asian softball cricket tournament and to establish softball district associations covering all districts and regions of the island. That ends Sports News.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Samsung Sri Lanka launched the highly anticipated campaign, the Samsung Member Exclusive Offer, an exclusive promotion available on the Samsung Members app. The Samsung Members Exclusive Offer is an opportunity for Samsung members to purchase Samsung Galaxy smartphones and tablets and enjoy an incredible discount of 12% off the maximum retail price. To take advantage of this exclusive offer, participants simply need to log on to the Samsung Member app and check the available vouchers for redemption. Each voucher can be used once per user and cannot be combined with any other voucher code. These vouchers will be available and valid till 30th of this month only. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Moving on to economic news, the government has allocated 70 million rupees to compensate paddy farmers for crop losses in the Yala 2022 season, but it will not cover losses from fertilizer shortages. The program expects to compensate 3,499 farmers who suffered crop damage in the 2022 Yala season. Agriculture and Agrarian Insurance Board compensate 3,499 farmers whose fields were damaged. That ends economic news.
Weather report.
Meteorology Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at times in western and sub-Ragavan provinces and in Gol, Mathura, Kandy and Nuwara districts. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 mm, are likely at some places in the sub-Ragavan province and in Gol, Mathura, Kaluthara and Colombo districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the northwestern province. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in Uva province and in Ampara and Batticaloa night. Strong winds, about 40 to 45 km per hour, can be expected at times in western slopes of the Central Hills and in Hambantota districts. That ends with the report. To wrap up the night news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The President invited to address Summit for New Global Financing Pact in Paris. UAE President invites President Ranil Wickremesinghe for the COP28 Summit. The UNP says that the party may contest the upcoming election with a coalition. Labour laws will be amended to fit with the modern world. Foreign news, around 80 migrants dead, dozens feared missing after fishing vessel capsized off Greece. Sports news, new president elected for Sri Lanka Softball Cricket Federation. That ends the night news on Radio Sri Lanka.